Okay, so we will start now. Uh, that day I gave you the notes of this gross anatomy of the heart. So there I said there is this new thing which is known as the coronary artery. So the coronary arteries are the ones which supply blood to your heart. See, the heart is already filled with blood in its chambers, but this blood are oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. But the heart also needs blood to keep its pumping action intact. Because of that, the heart receives its own supply of blood from the coronary arteries. Now, if I say where do this coronary artery enters the heart, as you all know, there is this aorta which leaves the left ventricle. So, the point or the junction at which the aorta meets the left ventricle, at that point the coronary arteries also enters the heart. So at that junction, these coronary arteries are present or they enter the heart from this junction. And the coronary arteries are divided into two main branches, the right and the left. Okay. Then these left and right are again divided into branches, two branches each. The left is divided into the circumflex artery and the left anterior descending artery, and the right is divided into the right marginal artery and the posterior descending artery. So you don't need to go into the details of this, you just need to know the names of these arteries and their branches, and that the heart gets its supply from the coronary artery. So is it clear now? Is it clear or should I repeat? Am I audible to all? Okay, so shall I repeat this about the coronary arteries? Okay. See, the coronary arteries are the ones which supply blood to your heart. Okay. The various arteries that leave from your heart, they supply the different parts of your body. The heart also needs to get its own supply of blood, and these coronary arteries, they enter the heart at a certain point, and this point is the junction between the aorta and the left ventricle. So as you all know, this aorta, which is the largest artery, it leaves the heart at the left ventricle. So it meets or it leaves the heart at the left ventricle. So at this junction where the aorta meets the left ventricle, the coronary arteries also enters the heart at this point. So that is the entry of the coronary artery. So the heart is supplied by the coronary arteries. The coronary arteries enters the heart at the point of junction of aorta and the left ventricle, and then it supply all part of the heart muscles. Then the coronary artery, it gets divided into the left coronary artery and the right coronary artery, and then again these are subdivided. The left coronary artery is subdivided into the circumflexed artery and the left anterior descending artery, and the right one, it divides into right marginal artery and the posterior descending artery. I have given the notes for this. If you see it, then it will be clear, but for now when I am saying, have you understood, have you got an idea of what is coronary artery? Is it clear? Coronary arteries. Okay. So if it's clear, we'll go into the conductivity of the heart, or how the heart beats. So if I say heartbeat, so what do you know about the heartbeat, or do you know what is the usual heartbeat? What should be the usual heartbeat per minute? Does anyone know what is the heartbeat, or what is the usual, what is considered the normal range for heartbeat in a minute? Okay, see, heartbeat is a vital sign. Okay, so if I say the usual heartbeat, there should be a range for the heartbeat. Like if I say respiratory rate, it is 12 to 20 per minute. That is considered as the normal range. So if I say the heartbeat, does anybody know what is the normal range of the heartbeat or the pulse rate? Does anybody know what should be the usual heartbeat? Someone said it's 60 to 100. Okay. See, so usually it's considered that the heartbeat should be 72 beats per minute. 72 beats. But then that is a number. You need to get a range. So if I say a range, then it is considered 60 to 80 beats per minute is considered as the normal heartbeat. Okay, 60 to 80 beats per minute. And sometimes it's considered in the settings such as the ICU setup and all, up to 100 is considered the normal heartbeat. But if someone asks you what's the normal heartbeat, then it's about 60 to 80 beats per minute. Okay, with an average of 72 beats per minute. So that is the usual heartbeat. Now, have you all heard about the pacemaker? Have you heard the term pacemaker before? Okay, so if I say pacemaker, the pacemaker has got a certain function to keep the heart beating. Okay, for this beating of the heart, there needs to be a certain impulse or a signal. So that signal or that impulse is generated by the pacemaker. When we say some people has this pacemaker surgery, pacemaker has been inserted into the heart, so why that? Because to keep the heart beating. Because of that, the pacemaker is inserted. Now, for us, we also have a natural pacemaker in our heart. Okay, that pacemaker is known as SA node. SA node, which is the sinoatrial node. That sinoatrial node, it is known as the pacemaker of the heart, because the signal or the impulses to keep the heart beating, it comes from the SA node. Is it clear till now? What is SA node? See, as I said, the heartbeat is 60 to 80 per minute, but there has to be a certain signal, or there has to be a certain impulse which keeps the heart beating. So that impulse, it is generated or it is created by the SA node of the heart. Okay, it gives these impulses to the heart so that the heart keeps on beating and it does not stop. So these are generated by the SA node or the sinoatrial node. So the SA node, it is known as the pacemaker of the heart. And when this SA node is not functioning properly and it goes into dysfunction, so there are problems with the beating of the heart. And then we go for this operation and then we insert the artificial pacemaker in a person. But for us, when we have a normal heart, the SA node is the one which is responsible for your beating of the heart. Is it clear till now? I'm not able to hear your voices. Can you increase the volume? Okay, so I think so it is clear till SA node. So now where is the SA node located? Okay, SA node, which is known as the pacemaker of the heart, it is located in the right atrium chamber of the heart. Okay, in the right atrium chamber of the heart. And as you all know, the superior and the inferior vena cava, these two blood vessels, they enter into your right atrium. And the SA node, it is located just below the opening of the superior vena cava. Okay. So there is this SA node. So if I summarize, SA node is the one which generates the impulses or the signal for your heart to keep on beating, and then this SA node is located just below the opening of the superior vena cava in the right atrium. So if it's clear till now, then when the impulses or these signals are generated by the SA node, after that it travels into the AV node. Okay, AV node. AV node means the atrioventricular node. Okay, which is located in your intraatrial septum. As I said in the first class, that between the two atrium there is a separation, and that separation is known as the atrial septum. So in this atrial septum or in the intraatrial septum is your AV node in the posterior side. okay, or in the back side is your AV node. So from the SA node, the impulses, they come to your AV node, which is the atrioventricular node, and then through some fibers they travel into your ventricles, and then these keeps your heart beating. I'll repeat it again. The SA node, it is located in the right atrium. The SA node, it generates the impulse, and then the impulse or the signal, it travels into your AV node, and then this AV node is located in the intraatrial septum. So when the impulses, they come into the AV node, then through some fibers or a network of fibers, okay, through these fibers they travel into your ventricular myocardium or into the muscles of your ventricle. Is it clear till now? Okay, so atrial events and ventricular events are again subdivided into atrial systole and atrial diastole, and ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. Systole, if I say the spelling, SYSTOLE, systole. SYSTOLE is systole, and diastole is DIASTOLE. It is diastole. Systole and diastole. Have you noted that? Systole and diastole. I'll give you the notes, but just for your understanding, I'm saying that note it down. Have you noted? Okay. Systole and diastole. So, systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. You just need to know that for now, okay? Systole meaning contraction and diastole means relaxation. So when there is a systole of a particular chamber, you need to know that that chamber is contracting. And when I say that there is diastole of another chamber, it means that chamber is relaxing. So when the heart beats, there is this contraction and then relaxation of the heart. These things keep on taking place while the heart is beating. And these two events, that is the atrial event and the ventricular event, they form the cardiac cycle. And they are further subdivided into atrial systole and atrial diastole, ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So when I say atrial systole, it means the atriums are contracting, that is the atrial systole. Both the atriums, okay, not only the right or not only the left, but both the atrials are contracting, that is the atrial systole. Atrial diastole means both the atriums, the right and the left, both are relaxing. When I say ventricular event, again ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So ventricular systole, this means both the ventricles, the right and left, both are contracting, and by ventricular diastole I mean both sides, right and the left side, both are relaxing. So is it clear? Okay. Okay. So during each beat there is one cardiac cycle. So if I say someone's heart is beating at a rate of 72 beat per minute, so these cardiac cycle are also taking place 72 times. Okay, 72 times. So with each beat there is this each cycle. Each cycle takes place with every beat. So as I said, this atrial event is divided into atrial systole and atrial diastole, and then ventricular event is divided into ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So atrial systole, it lasts for 0.11 seconds. Atrial systole, that lasts for 0.11 seconds. Ventricular diastole, that lasts for 0.69 seconds. I'll give you the notes, you need to remember that. Then ventricular systole, that lasts for 0.27 seconds. And ventricular diastole, it lasts for 0.53 second. Atrial systole is 0.11 second. Atrial diastole is 0.69 second. Ventricular systole is 0.27 second, and ventricular diastole, it lasts for 0.53 second. Is it clear? So all these combine and then they result in the beating of the heart, or these things are carried out when the heart is beating. Am I clear? The times I'll send you in your notes. Okay. So if I say atrial systole, I told you it means the contraction of the atrium. So when the atrium is contracting, the blood from the atrium, they move into your ventricles. Okay, when the atrial systole is going on, then when the atrium contracts, the blood, it goes into your ventricle. Okay, see, whenever you take a cloth, whenever you wash a cloth and then you squeeze it, then the water from it comes out, right? So similarly, whenever this atrium is squeezing, or if I say it's contracting, then the blood from it, it comes out. And where does it go? It goes into the ventricle. There I have told you before that how the blood, it goes from the atrium to the ventricle, but for now you just need to know when the atrial systole is going on, the atrium is contracting, and the way when you squeeze a cloth, the water from it comes out. So when the atrium, it contracts, the blood from it comes out, and where does it go? It goes into your ventricle. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So if it contracts, it has to relax also. If the atrium is contracting, there is this event which you call as the atrial systole. After that, it relaxes, so that you call as the atrial diastole. So after the atrial systole, when the blood goes into the ventricle, after that, after the atrium, all the blood, it goes into the ventricle. After that, the atrium, it relaxes, so that is the atrial diastole. So when the atrial diastole takes place, simultaneously at the same time the ventricular systole also starts, which means when the atrium, it relaxes, at first the atrium contracts And when the atrium contracts, the blood from the atrium, it moves into the ventricle. After all the blood moves into the ventricle, or the atrium has filled the ventricle with blood, after that the atrium, it relaxes, which means it has done its work, and after that it relaxes. So when it relaxes, that period is called as the atrial diastole. And similarly, at the same time, when the atrium is relaxing, at that time the ventricle is doing its work. So the ventricle is contracting. See, the whole of the heart or all the chambers of the heart cannot relax at the same time. Okay, one chamber needs to keep on beating, otherwise the heartbeat will stop. All the chambers cannot relax at the same time. See, if you think about a factory or a hospital setup, some people they come for the morning shift, some people they come for the evening shift. If I take the hospital as an example, you can relate to it. So if some people are doing their work in the morning, when they relax at night, the other people or the other group of people, they come into work at night. And when these people who had their night shift, then they again relax in the morning, and the other group of people, they come for work in the morning again. So if one group of people are working, the other group is resting, and if another group is working, the former group is resting. So in the similar way, it's similar in case of the heart. All the chambers of the heart or all the workers in a institute, they cannot relax at the same time. If the atrium is contracting, then the diastole was relaxing. Now when the atrial diastole takes place, which means when the atrium is relaxing, the ventricular contraction is taking place, which means the ventricular systole. This takes place at the same time. When the atrial diastole takes place, simultaneously at the same time ventricular systole takes place. Clear? Yes, okay, so you guys are understanding this. So this is your cardiac cycle. So when the heart is beating, at first the atrial systole takes place. Atrial systole means the contraction of the atrium, and then the blood goes into your ventricle. After that, when the work is done, the atrium they relaxes. That is known as your atrial diastole. And when the atrium relaxes, the ventricles come into play, and then the ventricle starts contracting. That is known as the ventricular systole. Now ventricular systole again means the ventricles are contracting, or as I said, when you squeeze a cloth, the water from it will come out. So when the ventricles are also squeezing or the ventricles are contracting, the water from like the way the water comes out from the cloth, the blood from the ventricle, they will also come out. Okay, so on one side it will go into the pulmonary artery, other side is the aorta. As you all know, to the right side is the pulmonary artery, to the left side was the aorta. So when these ventricles are contracting or they are squeezing, again the blood from these ventricles, they come out, they come into these blood vessels. And after that, once the work is done or the ventricles are evacuated, after that the ventricles they relax. And when the ventricles relax, towards the last phase of the ventricular relaxation, again the atrial systole takes place, which means again the atrium comes into play. Okay. And see, when as I gave you the example of these people resting, so when the people they rest, so what do they get? They are filled with energy to work again, right? So similarly for these chambers, when they are relaxing, then they are filled with blood, so they get the energy again to work. Okay, so when they are doing their work, which means systole, or they are contracting, then the blood from them is going out. And when they are relaxing, which means diastole, then they are again filled with blood, so that they can carry out the cardiac cycle again. Is it clear? Okay. So this was all about your cardiac cycle. There are many things to be known, but for now at your level this much is enough. Okay. So if I sum up today's class, first we studied about the coronary arteries. So the coronary arteries are the ones through which the heart gets its own supply of blood. Okay, the heart also needs energy, or the heart also needs, if I say a human being, every human being needs energy. So similarly the heart also needs blood, okay, or energy to keep its function going. So because of that it receives its own supply of blood through the coronary arteries. They are divided into the right and the left artery. The left is again divided into the circumflex and left anterior descending artery. The right is divided into the right marginal and posterior descending artery. After that we talked about the heartbeat. So the usual heartbeat which we consider is 60 to 80 per minute, okay, with an average of 72 beats per minute. If I say range, it is 60 to 80. So when this heart beats, so there needs to be certain signal, there needs to be a trigger for the heart to be beating. So this signal or this impulse is generated by your SA node. From the SA node, the impulse goes into your AV node. From the AV node, through the various fibers, which are the bundle of His and Purkinje fiber, they travel into your ventricular muscles or your ventricular myocardium, and then this keeps your heart beating. After that was the cardiac cycle. So when this heart is beating, certain things or certain conditions are also going on within the atrium and the ventricle. These phases is the atrial systole and atrial diastole, and ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So whenever the atrium they contract, then the blood from the atrium it moves into your ventricle, and whenever the atrium is contracting, the ventricles are relaxing, and when the ventricles are contracting, again the blood from the ventricles they move into the blood vessels, and then after that when the ventricle relaxes, again the ventricle is filled with blood. So these events are divided into systole and diastole. So there are total of 4 events: atrial systole, atrial diastole, ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. So whenever systole takes place, it means just think about the squeezing of a cloth. So when you squeeze the cloth, the water comes out. Similarly, whenever they contract or whenever there is a systole of a chamber, the blood from it comes out. Okay, so it comes out, and then when they relax, again they are filled with blood, which means every person needs energy to keep on going. So these chambers they also need blood to keep on beating. So they empty and again they fill themselves. They empty themselves during the systole and then they fill themselves during the diastole. And whenever one group is doing its work, the other is relaxing, and whenever the other group is doing its work, the former one is relaxing. Is it clear now? Okay, so as you all said, I think it's clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll send you the notes. You just go through it once. I'll send you the notes by today evening. So if you go through it, I think so it will be more clear. And if you have any problem, you can ask me. Okay, is the CR here? If not, anybody of you can take the attendance and you can send it to me, okay? Any one of you take the attendance and then you send it to me, okay, for both the semesters. So we'll wind it up now.